go get her.
What's up, y'all, and welcome back to CineBolt. September is looking absolutely stacked for action fans, and I've been digging through the upcoming releases to find the absolute must-watch flicks hitting theaters and streaming. So in order not to waste your time on a lengthy intro, let's go through the top 6 brand new action thrillers you absolutely cannot miss this month. Kicking things off, we've got a flick that looks like a straight-up shot of adrenaline for martial arts fans. Prisoner of War throws the absolute legend Scott Adkins into a Japanese POW camp during World War II. He plays a captured British SAS officer who's forced to compete in these brutal, to-the-death combat matches for the Guards. Entertainment.
Fight to the death!
This is Adkins in his absolute element. We're talking a gritty, desperate setting that's perfect for showcasing his insane acrobatic and fighting skills. The director, Louis Mandylor, knows his way around an action set piece, so I'm expecting some bone-crunching, brilliantly choreographed fights that will make you wince in the best way possible. The World War II backdrop adds a layer of honor and desperation that could elevate this beyond just a simple tournament movie. Now, the plot does sound a little like a throwback to classic 80s and 90s B-action movies, so there might be some predictable beats. Don't go in expecting Saving Private Ryan. This is a vehicle for some of the best martial arts action you'll see all year. If you're a fan of Scott Adkins, or just want a no-nonsense, hard-hitting action flick, this is an absolute must-watch. Alright, next, one of my most anticipated action thriller of the month is a film that sounds so unbelievably bonkers and brilliant, it's almost hard to believe it's real. One Battle After Another is a black comedy action film written, directed, and produced by the one and only Paul Thomas Anderson. Yes, that PTA. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio as a washed-up revolutionary living off-grid with his daughter. When an old nemesis, played by Sean Penn, resurfaces and his daughter goes missing, he reunites his old crew of radicals, including Benicio del Toro and Regina Hall, for one last fight. PTA, the master of sprawling, character-driven epics like Boogie Nights and There Will Be Blood, is tackling an action film. The cast is just jaw-droppingly good. Leo as a burned-out revolutionary, Sean Penn as a villainous colonel, Benicio del Toro as Sensei Sergio. Sign me up. This promises to be a one-of-a-kind blend of explosive action, biting political satire, and dark, offbeat humor. It's going to be weird, it's going to be smart, and knowing PTA, it's going to be visually stunning. Now, if you're walking in expecting a straightforward Michael Bay flick, you're going to be very confused. This will be an art house action movie, more inherent vice with explosions than Fast and Furious. The pacing might be deliberate, and the humor will likely be bone dry. But for anyone who loves PTA, or for action fans craving something totally original and wildly ambitious, this is it. Next up is a sci-fi actioner that looks like it punches way above its weight class. Affinity stars another legit action beast, Marco Zaror, as a PTSD-afflicted ex-Navy SEAL named Bruno. He rescues a mysterious woman, Athena, falls for her, and then, of course, she gets kidnapped. He rounds up his old crew to get her back, only to discover she's been bioengineered by a grieving scientist.
Let's go get her.
Okay, so on the surface, ex-SEAL saves the girl sounds a little generic, I get it. But the magic here is in the casting and the twist. Marco Zaror is a Chilean martial arts powerhouse. The guy is a whirlwind of acrobatic kicks and pure physicality. Pairing him with action vet Louis Mandylor again promises some seriously hard-hitting fight sequences. The bioengineered angle is what really grabs me though. It turns a standard rescue mission into something way more complex, blending themes of emotional trauma with a high-concept sci-fi mystery. It's got a tight 86-minute runtime, so expect a fast-paced, relentless ride. The potential drawback is that it could be a style over substance affair, with the sci-fi plot taking a backseat to the action. But honestly, when the action looks this good, is that really a problem? It feels like a mix of John Wick's brutal choreography with the sci-fi body horror of something like Upgrade. For fans of gritty B-movie action gems and mind-bending sci-fi, Affinity looks like a total gem. Now for something that looks utterly bleak, brutal, and completely gripping. Der Tiger is a German war drama set on the Eastern Front in 1943. It follows a 5-man crew of a German Tiger tank on a secret mission deep behind enemy lines. The kicker here is, they're being fueled by Wehrmacht-issued methamphetamine, and what starts as a military operation quickly descends into a psychological journey into paranoia and darkness. This concept is an absolute killer. Director Dennis Gansel, who made the fantastic, intense film The Wave, is the perfect choice to helm this. A war film from the German perspective already offers a unique angle, but trapping these characters in the claustrophobic confines of a tank while they unravel from combat stress and drug-fueled paranoia sounds like a recipe for an unforgettable cinematic nightmare. This one's not just tank battles. It's about the moral and mental collapse of soldiers pushed beyond their breaking point. Be warned though, this is not going to be an easy watch. It's a German film, so subtitles are a must for most of us, and the subject matter is incredibly dark. It's probably going to be more of a slow burn psychological horror film than a straight-up action movie. This next one looks like it's going to be an absolutely grueling and intense experience. The Cut is a psychological thriller disguised as a sports drama, starring Orlando Bloom in a role that looks like a serious physical and emotional transformation. He plays a retired boxer who, after a decade away from the ring, gets a last shot offer to fight for a major championship. To make weight, he undergoes a punishing, extreme regimen overseen by a ruthless promoter and a cold, unforgiving trainer played by the great John Turturro. What makes this a must-watch for me is the focus. This isn't just another Rocky story. It's about the sheer psychological horror of what elite athletes put their bodies through. The director, Sean Ellis, is a master of tension. If you've seen his films Metro Manila or Anthropoid, you know he doesn't pull his punches. This film promises to be a deep dive into the mental and physical collapse that comes with pushing your body to the absolute limit. Bloom looks completely committed, and I'm hyped to see him in such a gritty, demanding role. The only potential downside is that boxing movies are a very crowded genre, and it could fall back on familiar tropes. But all signs point to this being something different. This is for anyone who loves intense psychological thrillers and character-driven dramas. Alright, switching gears to something a little lighter but just as explosive, we have London Calling. This action comedy stars Josh Duhamel as Tommy Ward, a pretty mediocre hitman who makes a massive screw-up. He accidentally kills a relative of London's top crime boss and is forced to go on the run to Los Angeles. In a desperate bid to earn safe passage back home to his own estranged son, he makes a deal with his new employer, Benson. Teach Benson's socially awkward teenage son, Julian, how to become a man. And how does he do that? By dragging the kid along on his latest contract killing, of course.
You've got to know when to put it down.
What starts as a simple, incredibly weird babysitting gig quickly descends into utter mayhem, forcing this mismatched pair to survive the night. This premise is just a blast. It's got that classic buddy comedy, wrong place, wrong time vibe that I love. Duhamel has fantastic comedic timing for this kind of role, and you've got Alan Ungar directing, who knows how to stage slick action. Plus, Aidan Gillen, yes, Littlefinger himself, as the big bad crime lord hunting them down is always a win. Now, action comedies can be very hit or miss. The humor could fall flat, or the action might feel generic. But the setup gives off some serious The Nice Guys meets Midnight Run energy, which gets me hyped. If you're looking for a flick that doesn't take itself too seriously and promises a chaotic night of laughs and bullets, London Calling looks like it's going to be a fantastic time. So there it is, folks. 6 killer action flicks to keep you on the edge of your seat this September. Which one are you most hyped for? Let me know down in the comments. If you dug these recommendations, do me a solid and smash that like button. And if you're new here, hit subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss out on the best new releases. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.